Good morning to you all and welcome to Wake Up News Live on Globe Television. I am Sandra BOAHEN. Let's begin with our top stories. Coming up, minority in Parliament to launch an investigation into circumstances surrounding the alleged distribution of repackaged expired rice to senior high schools. This morning we have for you Manche King Taki Teiko Sruo II has called on political parties to commit fully to peace before, during and after the elections. And immediate past president of the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, Eric Nana Prempeh, has indicated that empowering local governance is crucial for the nation's growth. Coming up later on the international front, a rescuer search for survivors after building collapse in Tanzania, killing at least 13. Coming up in sports today, 21 teams have already confirmed their participation in the eagerly awaited Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2025, which will take place in Morocco. Details of all these stories and many more coming up shortly. Do join us. We begin our first story from Parliament. The minority in Parliament has vowed to launch an investigation into circumstances surrounding the alleged distribution of repackaged expired rice to senior high schools across the country. The group has also called for the arrest and prosecution of the directors of Lamens Investment Africa Limited, as well as the sanctioning of the board and management of the National Food Buffer Stock Company. The call comes after North Tongue Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa accused the two institutions of conspiring to distribute 22,000 bags of expired and repackaged rice to schools. He made this known at a press conference in Accra yesterday.
The earlier he tells Ghanaians why he concealed this information, because as far back as January, they could have stopped the repackaging and redistribution of this rice. None of them will be made to get away. Ladies and gentlemen, we call on CHAS, teacher unions, the PTAs, and all Ghanaians to insist, indeed they must insist, that no senior high school should ever again be made to receive food items which have been criminally repackaged and which do not contain expiry dates. This must be a no, 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 and must never be countenanced. Friends from the media, our side in respective parliamentary committees have agreed to initiate inquiries into this atrocious affair. And you can see our distinguished ranking member on the Education Committee. And to be fair to him, for many months and years, he has been raising concerns about the quality of food. You recall, you have interviewed him here on many occasions. Now we have the incontrovertible evidence. He always knew what he was talking about. But the Ministry of Education, which he oversights, refused to listen to him. And now see where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall not rest until justice is done in this matter. Our senior high school students must never be subjected to this unwarranted callousness and heartlessness just because an unscrupulous few seek to enrich themselves. We thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff, Frema Osei, has expressed disapproval regarding the remarks made about the purported distribution of repackaged expired rice to certain senior high schools. Her statement come in response to allegations made by the North Tongue Member of Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who asserted that approximately 22,000 bags of expired and repackaged rice were provided to these schools.
This sector in Ghana is moving forward to catch up with the modern trends. We are not late. What we are doing is helping our students to have critical minds. So they create. They are not just imbibing knowledge, but they are actually creating knowledge. And I think we need to support the education agenda that the government has. This transformative agenda is worth supporting.
But then the issue about some expired rice served to students, has it come to your notice, and are you worried about that?
It is, you know, it is not true. So please, let us focus on things that move this country forward. I think this is our problem. We have good things. Look at what I've just seen. That should be your focus. How you advance the Ghanaian child. How you improve their opportunities so they become good citizens. Propaganda and rumor mongering has no place in education.
We have 18 days to the election, and we are your election court. On your election-related matters, the running mate of the National Democratic Congress, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has emphasized the importance of women empowerment, advocates utilizing the Affirmative Action Bill effectively before its implementation. Speaking at the Gender Empowerment Series in Accra on November 18, she highlighted the challenges women face in taking leadership roles even when opportunities are presented.
And affirmative action. And what you see, we've all waited for this bill forever, and we are very happy that finally it has gone through. But whilst we were waiting, some of the questions some of us asked ourselves was, how are we preparing the women to take this advantage of this should the bill go through? 30%. Why is it that some of us will not step forward even if we are asked? And we are capable, but we won't come. What is stopping us? Is this something we should work on, or is it just the numbers? So there's so much that we need to do. As for filling the numbers, it should be easy. Why don't we have as many women in parliament? This time I think we have 40, don't we? 2020, that too they split, but that's another story. What do we say about them when they are going to parliament? I'll raise some of the comments here. What do we say about successful women? So yes, the bill is passed. And I'll be very happy that we go beyond the 30%. We should get to 20, we should get to 50% in 2030 or something like that. Isn't that the case? So we all have work to do. And work to do immediately. We want to put qualified women there. We know they are capable. We know the dropout rate. We know why, as we go up, we become invisible. What are we doing about that? Let it not be said that, oh, they gave them the affirmative action bill finally, and they didn't even know what to do with it. So, you see, we all have work to do. Mentoring, coaching, encouraging, and so on will help.
In other stories, the government check-in Turkey Takeover Road II has called on political parties to commit fully to peace before, during, and after the election. Speaking at the launch of the Blueprint for Sustainable Global Peace in Accra on Monday, Kentucky II said democracy is built on dialogue, mutual respect, and unity. He also urged the election management body to exercise free, fair, and transparent elections that reflect the values of justice and equality.
As Ghana stands at the threshold of another critical moment in our democratic history, the principles of this blueprint resonate strongly. It is important to note that just as our respect of rights and privileges serves as the foundation of peace, fairness, firmness on the side of the regulator must anchor our electoral process. I call on all political parties to commit fully to peace before, during, and after this election. Let us demonstrate to ourselves and to the world that our democracy is built on dialogue, mutual respect, and unity. To the Electoral Commission, I urge you to ensure that every voice is heard, every vote is accounted for. A free, fair, and transparent election is not only a political necessity, but also a moral responsibility that reflects the values of justice and equality. To everyone here today, let us take this blueprint of the professor beyond these walls. Let it inspire us to lead with integrity. Let it engage us with compassion. Let it foster communities where justice prevails and peace thrives. Together, we can demonstrate to the world that sustainable peace is possible when humanity aligns with a higher purpose.
Let's do NCC story now. The NCC also urges the youth to exercise their power responsibly during the upcoming elections. Speaking at the public lecture at the Valley View University in Techiman on November 15, the Deputy Chairman in charge of Operations, Samuel Asare Ekwiyamwa, emphasized the importance of avoiding violence and extremism.
The NCC's Deputy Chairman in charge of Operations, Samuel Asare Ekwiyamwa, cautioned the youth to be vigilant and report individuals who exhibit signs of radicalization or potential to cause trouble to the authorities. This call to action is part of NCC's efforts to promote peaceful elections and civic responsibility among Ghanaian youth.
And so the youth, I just want to remind them that this is the uniqueness of what we have. As we go into the elections, they should not allow anybody to abuse this energy, this kind of uniqueness that is associated with them, into dragging them into violence or doing anything that will break the law. Secondly, I want to call on the youth to turn out in their numbers, those who qualify as voters, to go and cast their votes.
Deputy Superintendent of Immigration, Prosper Bologna, is urging citizens to exercise caution regarding weapon ownership. He emphasized the importance of obtaining weapons through legal channels, warning against illegal possession and use. Bologna also called on the public to collaborate with security agencies in reporting suspicious activities, fostering a safer community.
There are lots of illegal handling of weapons in the system. the armed robbers, sometimes even the youth themselves, they are having weapons with them and they use it for illegal activities. So I think what actually needs to be done is that people need to legally acquire the documents that helps you to be a holder of weapons. And as I said, you need to be 18 years and above, you need to be of sound mind. You will be assessed before you can handle a weapon.
The chairman of the Bunu East Regional Peace Council, Reverend Prince Owusu Aseku, emphasized the crucial need to educate Ghana's youth about the dangers of violent extremism.
The youth are our future leaders, and if they are made known what extremism is all about, and violence for that matter, it will help us and help them, because they are easily enticed by these foreigners with money and what have you. So if they are told the consequences of violence and extremism, it will help them to be aware, so that they will avoid the monies that will lure them into extremisms. It's two things: either you come safely or you are dead.
The Alliance for Women in Media Africa has taken a significant step towards empowering female journalists before the December 2024 elections. By providing these skills and knowledge, the organization hopes for female journalists to thrive in Ghana's media landscape.
In partnership with UNESCO, the Alliance for Women in Media Africa organized a 2-day training program to equip female journalists with essential skills in journalist safety and election reporting. This initiative aims to enable women journalists to play a pivotal role in shaping Ghana's democratic future through impactful election coverage. Convener Macy Ajaben has stressed the importance of building strong networks and support systems for female journalists.
As we strive for inclusive and representative media, we recognize the significant role women journalists play in holding leaders accountable and promoting peaceful elections. This training is a testament to our commitment to supporting our critical work. Over the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, we will delve into the complexities of election reporting, exploring topics such as safety fundamentals in election reporting, very critical for us as women.
The Dean of the University of Communication Studies at the University of Ghana, Professor Andre Ngajapo, celebrated the milestone of having a female vice presidential candidate, marking significant progress for gender representation. She emphasized that for a truly democratic process, journalists must prioritize highlighting perspectives from marginalized groups, ensuring their voices are heard.
So as we prepare for these elections and we try as much as possible in the next few weeks to give more women voice and visibility, we must know that the real work lies ahead after the elections. And we must begin to build our capacity long before 2028 so that we change the status quo. We need the kind of democracy that reflects the representation of people in this country. 14% is not reflective of Ghana. We are 51%. So on that note, power to you. I know that this training will help you, but I also think that we should begin to strategize for the work ahead so that the next time, in 4 years' time when we meet, we will be talking about out of 800 candidates, 400 are women.
And that brings us to the end in election court. Coming up on the program, immediate past president of the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, Eric Nana Prempeh, has indicated that empowering local governance is crucial for the nation's growth. Do stay for more details. The immediate past president of the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, NALAG, Eric Nana Prempeh, has indicated that empowering local governance is crucial for the nation's growth. At NALAG's 22nd National Delegates Conference, Eric Nana Prempeh emphasized the importance of prioritizing development in electoral areas where the voices of the citizens are heard.
NALAG's 22nd National Delegates Conference serves as a pivotal platform for members to reflect on progress and challenges in strengthening local governance structures. Immediate past President Eric Nana Prempeh emphasized the significance of electoral areas as the foundation of local governance, where citizens' voices are heard. He stressed the need to prioritize development for national growth.
As an association, NALAG made several proposals for amendment to Local Government Act as well as the Constitution. This includes a moral and ex gratia for assembly members to be charged against the consolidated fund and the election of MLDCs. Requirement for a two-thirds majority of members in the election of presiding members among members.
Bono Regional Minister Justino Owusu-Banahene highlighted the importance of equipping MMDAs with targeted interventions to drive local development. This includes capacity building to enable local government representatives to manage their electoral areas effectively.
We need to equip our local government representatives with the tools, resources and skills necessary to manage their electoral areas effectively. This requires targeted interventions in capacity building.
The National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana aims to promote high standards and best practices in local governance and decentralization, protecting the rights and interests of member district assemblies. Newly elected President Alfred Asieduaje, with his extensive experience as a third-term assembly member in the Aveno electoral area, is confident that he will build upon the accomplishments of his predecessors and take NALAG to the next level.
In the upper Dentra east of the central region, an alarming number of school children are trading classrooms for mining sites as illegal mining operations exploit vulnerable youths. The Municipal Education Directorate reports widespread truancy, severely affecting academic performance and health. There's more in the following reports.
According to the Municipal Education Directorate, many rural students skip schools to engage in illegal mining. Upon returning, they struggle to catch up, leading to poor academic outcomes. The phenomenon primarily affects upper primary students, hindering them from completing basic education on schedule, contrary to the Ghana Education Service standards.
It's affecting the older children, those who are in class 6, JHS 1 to 3, where there is a proof that galamsey or gold has appeared in a particular area. Then the children, those who are strong enough, would then be trooping in to do that. They do this, and when the whole thing goes down, then they come back to school. So sometimes the head teachers report that the strong boys have left the schools, but they don't stop completely. So we are sure not to have out of school children. Majority, no. There was a galamsey or something happened, then the results started coming down and it became a very big issue. We were not happy. So we have to discuss with the community elders, assembly members and so on to find out the best way to deal with some of the issues.
According to Municipal Education Director Anthony Techi, school children in Galamsey communities are vulnerable to severe health issues due to contaminated water and illegal mining activities.
The challenge of health is a natural one because of the Galamsey. Galamsey comes with its own kind of health problems. Talk about skin diseases, respiratory infections, and sometimes kidneys and all that. And it's common here. But we are teaming up with the Ghana Health Service to deal with some of them. We report them, they report to us, and we all do mobilization and sensitization within the communities.
Illegal gold miners are wreaking havoc on the already polluted Offin River, defying effort to protect it. In the Upper Dentra East municipality, specifically from Dunkwa on Offin to communities like Boabinso, Ajumamu, Akropong and Chichire, numerous sampan machines are operating and miners are actively searching for gold. The river's condition has drastically deteriorated, appearing more turbid than just few months ago, despite Municipal Security Council operations aimed at ousting illegal miners. Unfortunately, it seems there is currently no ongoing effort to save the river. One miner confessed to Globe News that they believe authorities are turning a blind eye due to the upcoming elections.
On the foreign front, rescuers search for survivors after building collapses in Tanzania, killing at least 13. More stories coming up, including sports this day. Now, the search and rescue effort is ongoing in Tanzania's commercial capital, Dar es Salaam, after a building collapse on Saturday killed at least 13 people. That's according to authorities who say dozens of others have been rescued so far.
Crews search tirelessly for survivors still trapped in the rubble of a collapsed building in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. More than a dozen people were killed and more than 80 were rescued, according to the country's president, after a 4-story building in the city's Kariakoo market collapsed on Saturday morning. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa on Monday told reporters rescuers remain determined.
This operation will not stop. It will go on until we can confirm that all the business people who were here have been rescued. We will be grateful to God if we manage to bring them all out alive.
Tapping sounds were heard on Sunday from within the rubble of the building, according to the BBC. Building collapses are not uncommon in many African cities where weak construction standards and lax enforcement persist.
Coming up in sports today, 21 teams have already confirmed their participation in the eagerly awaited Total Energy CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2025, which will take place in Morocco. The Nigeria Super Eagles' unbeaten run in the AFCON 2025 qualifiers by overcoming a deficit to secure a 2-1 victory in their final Group D match held in Uyo on Monday. Although the match held no significance for the Super Eagles, Rwanda required a win and relied on the hope that Benin would lose their away match against Libya. Ghana's Black Stars also have not succeeded in qualifying for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, disappointing numerous soccer enthusiasts. This is the first occasion since 2004 that the national team has been absent from the tournament.
There's a trigger.
As the qualifiers conclude, 21 teams have already confirmed their participation in the eagerly awaited Total Energy of Africa Cup of Nations 2025, which will take place in Morocco. The results from match day 6 on Monday resulted in 2 additional nations, Sudan and Benin, securing their positions in this premier African football tournament. Last week, Nigeria, Tunisia, South Africa, Uganda, Equatorial Guinea and Gabon also earned their spots, adding to the roster of prominent. Now, Croatia booked their place in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Nations League as they came from behind to rescue a 1-1 draw against Portugal, with the results just the 3rd time in 10 H2Hs that they have avoided defeat. Spain extended their unbeaten run in competitive internationals to a remarkable 21 matches, including 20 victories with a 3-2 win over Switzerland.